What's up everybody, Jared here with carbuzz.com, and today I am bringing you a deep dive look at the 2022 Audi RS3. This is the all-new RS3 based on the all-new A3 and S3, but of course the RS is the most performance-oriented version, and there is a lot of cool stuff to talk about here. Audi has flown me out to about an hour outside of Las Vegas, where we've got the RS3 and our own private racetrack with our own private villa that we're staying at. This is so amazing. I will be bringing you full drive impressions both on the street and on the track on June 1st, so be sure to mark that on your calendars. That is when my driving review of the RS3 will go up. In this video, what I'm going to do is give you a full walk around of two RS3s. We've got this Miami green one, which is named after a racetrack in South Africa. We also have this turbo blue one. And the difference is you'll start to see this one has a Dynamic Plus package. It is spec'd out for the track. And what I'm also going to do is drive this one, just not talk during the drive, out on the racetrack. So you will get to see this one in action in this video, but you'll get to hear how both of these cars drive in my next video. So without further ado, let's actually start on the turbo blue car. This is actually a free color on the RS3. I believe the Miami green is also a free color, which is really, really cool. We've got a lot of cool details to go over here. So the RS3 is obviously a little bit wider. The whole A3 and S3 lines have gotten a little bit longer and a little bit wider compared to the previous generation. But this RS3 has a black optic package. So you have those black Audi badges here. You can see that these are all blacked out. You can get those in chrome if you want as well. You also are going to get a black roof as a part of that package. It's only about $750, so if you want it, it's really not that bad. All RS3s are going to get 19-inch wheels. This is actually part of the black optic package. The other wheel is kind of like a two-tone silver. Now this car has the Bridgestone Potenza tires on it. It's a really good tire. I'll talk a little bit more about that in my next video between the differences with the tires. We've got these really cool LED headlights that do some really cool lighting functions here. They do the whole like sequencing when you go to unlock them. It actually like spells out RS3. And you can see this part here when it's all lit up actually kind of looks like a checkered flag, which is really darn cool. I love this turbo blue color. My mom actually has an Audi A5 Sportback in turbo blue, so I'm in love with that color. Loving these Y-spoke 19-inch wheels too, with the big red brake calipers. Those calipers are 6 pistons, by the way, stock. You don't have to upgrade to them, although there is a carbon ceramic option that you can get. We've got some cool details here, like you've got this kind of bulge here in the door. That's cool. We've got black mirrors as part of that black optic package. We also have this black side skirt here as well. Moving around to the back of the car, we have this little black lip spoiler, a little bit subtle here. We've got the black Audi logo, black RS3 logos. Again, that is all part of that black optic package. Here's a better look at that black roof as well. You also get a sunroof as standard, which is quite nice. This car, I believe, has the sports exhaust, which is like $1,000, gets you these black tips, but in typical Audi fashion, you know, the actual tip is kind of hidden in there, as you can see. But yeah, this is a really great looking car. Comes in some really fun colors, as you can see. So I really hope that you're going to go ahead and opt for one of those fun colors. In terms of trunk space, the RS3 is not too bad. It's a pretty sizable trunk in there for such a small vehicle, I gotta say. You got some nice cargo net here. You also have some hooks, so you can hang your grocery bags on there as well. That's quite nice. You also have a 12-volt in there, and the seats do fold. Unfortunately, Europe is going to get the hot hatch version of this car. We are only going to get it as a sedan. Kind of a bummer. But let's go ahead and check out the back seat. So even the back seat on the RS3 gets this really cool hexagonal pattern which is quite nice. We have the full black interior here. I'm going to show you how much legroom you get. I have not adjusted this front seat, but I just wanted to show you anyway. I have a decent amount of legroom, not a ton of headroom here. This is not a huge vehicle. It's almost like you're buying a two-door car that just happens to have rear doors to make it a little bit more practical. You do get air vents back here, and you do get USB-C ports to charge up your devices, as well as some nice cargo nets here. So this is a rather nice interior, even in the back. There's a little bit of scratchy material, but you can see we have this nice suede material here. Honestly, I'm very impressed with this being an entry-level Audi. I know it's the RS version, but this is still an entry-level car based on the A3 S3, and it doesn't feel cheap on the inside. It just really doesn't. It is much more premium than a Mercedes-Benz CLA in here, and I think it's at least on par with the BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe on the inside, but I think the design is a little bit cooler. I love these cool door handles. We've got the Bang & Olufsen. That is part of an optional package, the tech package. It's $2,700. You also get a head-up display as part of that. I think it's worth it. I would 100% opt for the tech package for $2,700. So now let's go ahead and step on in. We're going to see that the interior is very similar to what you're going to get on an A3 or an S3. I love this steering wheel with the perforated leather. It's quite nice. The paddle shifters are a nice metal material. Of course, we have our RS logo down here. We can go ahead and start it up here. All right, and hit the home menu. Now we have a lot to talk about here. A lot of it is similar to what you're going to get in an A3 or an S3. We've got our little nubby shifter like you get in the Golf R. We've got our start button, push P for park. You also have this weird kind of touchpad for your volume controls. It actually works really well. You just kind of spin it with your finger for the volume. You have forward, reverse, and mute as well. You've got a little cubby area with a wireless charger. You also have USB-C ports there. We've got our main screen here. This is a 10.1 inch touchscreen. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. It's very similar to what you're going to get in other Audi vehicles, which I love. It's a very, very easy system to use, and it does have wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto as well. You're also going to get, as standard, the 12.3 inch virtual cockpit display. Now this is really, really cool, and it's got some special RS functions. So you can either have like a full color map, it's loading up the navigation. So you can either have this be a giant map, or you can have it showing your gauges. You can have it showing your entertainment options, things like that, which is really cool. You can see we have this kind of hockey puck design here on the tachometer, but there are different ways that you can change that. Let's see if I go into Audi Virtual Cockpit. All right, so we're on the RS Performance. You can also have RS Sport. Let's go ahead and yes, change that now. Now you have more traditional gauges. So as you can see, you can make them small, you can make them big. Let's see if that map, nope, that map is not initialized yet. Hopefully I can show you that later in this video. We also have RS Runway, which is like an RS thing specifically. That's really cool. So you can see they kind of go down like a runway. It's a very cool gauge cluster. Indeed, there's just so many different ways to customize it, and that head-up display is quite nice as well. I mentioned the moonroof is standard. It's similar to other Audi models where you have this kind of mesh that doesn't like 100% block out the sun, but what's really cool is that you can open up the glass part but leave this shut, so you can get a little bit of the air but not necessarily the sun. We also have some carbon fiber here on the dash. I think this stuff looks great. As I'm trying to get it to focus in on it, it kind of has like a weave to it. There's no like finish on it, so you can actually like feel the weave of the carbon fiber. I think that is fantastic, and overall I'm just very impressed with this interior. Obviously, I forgot to mention, but it's obviously a very important part of the RS experience is the seats. When you get an RS3, you're going to get these really gorgeous seats with the hexagonal pattern up here up front. It's going to say RS in the front, and there is a little bit of a different variation on this seat that you can also get, which is what I'm about to show you on that Cayenne green car. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the Cayenne green car, and I've got to talk to you about the Dynamic Plus package. It's the most expensive option that you can get on the RS3. It's $5,500. It's going to get you a lot of things though. So the top speed is limited to 155 miles per hour if you just get the base car. The Dynamic Plus package is going to up that to 180 miles an hour. You're also going to get a carbon fiber engine cover that I'm going to show you. You also get, instead of steel brakes, you're going to get carbon ceramics. Again, 6 pistons. So I can't tell you how those feel yet, but only the fronts are carbon, the rear are just going to be regular steel, but that is basically what you're going to get in that package. The tires on this car, which I also have to mention, are Pirelli Trofeo R tires. These are basically like semi-slick race tires, $450. So if you want to track this car, you're probably going to want to go for that Dynamic Plus package and the Trofeo R tires for $5,500 plus $450 for the tires. So we have the Cayenne green color, which is like the signature launch color for this, and you can get something called the RS Design Package. It's $1,500, and basically what that's going to add is, as you can see, we have the same seats as before, but now the stitch marks are green. We also have a little bit of green here on the seat as well. I think it's really cool. It's just enough green to add a big pop of color, but it's not enough to be obnoxious. It is still an Audi. It is still very tasteful in here as well. As my watch gets a little upset at me. We also have a little bit of green here on the vents. So you can see we have these little stripes here on the vents. We also have a little bit of a different carbon finish than what you're going to get on the standard car as part of this design package. We also have a different steering wheel. This is Alcantara wrapped, and you can see it has a little bit of green here on the steering wheel. You also have a little bit on the seat belts as well. So that's pretty much the main differences here. I should also point out these RS floor mats are quite cool as well. So those are pretty much the key differences between these two cars. If you're interested in just buying a base RS3 with no options, it's going to start at $58,900. That's a little bit more than a Mercedes-Benz CLA 45, but the RS3 comes with a lot more as standard. Adaptive cruise control, standard. Lane keep assist, standard. All of that stuff is standard. I'm really impressed with the packaging that they've done here and how much you get as standard. Now listen, this green car that I'm showing you is probably $75,000 all in. I'm not necessarily sure I would go all in on all that stuff. I told you I would definitely get that tech package, and to hear about the other stuff, I mean, maybe I would do the interior package because I think that green is really cool for $1,500, although it kind of limits you to the exterior colors because obviously the green would not go well with turbo blue. I don't even think Audi will let you get that option. Oh, I've got to show you the engine, obviously. This car has the carbon fiber engine cover. I'll show you the stock one as well so that we can just talk about the differences there. So under the hood, this is the real reason why you're going to spend $60,000 on an entry-level Audi. This engine, the 2.5 liter 5-cylinder. Audi's heritage is in 5-cylinder engines. This new engine makes 400 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, and it's going to go from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. It is a powerhouse of a motor. 400 horsepower is a ton in a little car. You can see this carbon fiber engine cover looks simply fantastic with those red accents. But this is the real reason you're going to buy one of these cars. This is more powerful than the 4-cylinder engine you get in the Mercedes-Benz CLA. We don't know how much the M2 is going to produce. It'll probably be a little faster than this. You know, that's going to be a rear-wheel drive coupe. But I imagine that the M2 is going to be more expensive. And just for comparison's sake, here is the regular engine cover. Still a really nice engine cover here. But this is the real reason you're going to buy an RS3 over an A3 or an S3. Now, that is our full tour of the 2022 Audi RS3. Again, June 1st is when you can look for my full drive impressions of this car. But now what I'm going to do is hop in one of these green cars and take it around the track just so you can listen to that glorious 5-cylinder engine. All right, so now we are going to hit the racetrack, and what I'm going to do is shut up and let you just listen to the engine. All right, ready?
now on your cool down lap.
I really hope you've enjoyed this deep dive look at the 2022 Audi RS3 and you enjoyed some of the noise out on the racetrack. Again, my full review goes live on June 1st. I really hope you'll come back to our channel, watch it. But before you come back, subscribe, ring the notification bell to be alerted of our latest videos, including the RS3 Drive. And if you want to learn more about this car, including reading my full written review, be sure to check out carbuzz.com. I'll see you next time.